To kick off Science Mancy Week, do you know Anna Atkins? She was a botanist who was not only the first person to ever produce a photographic book, she was probably the first woman ever to take a photograph. And now there's a new book out of her work that shows what a force of nature she was. Growing up in London in the early 1800s, she showed an early talent for both science and for art. She learned chemistry from her scientist father. In fact, when her father translated Lamarck's genera of shells into English, the illustrations were based on her work. By 1839, she was in the Botanical Society of London, which was one of the few learned societies that would admit women. The work that really led to her fame came after the invention by the astronomer John Herschel of something called the cyanotype technique. With this, you coat paper with two chemicals, ferric ammonium citrate and potassium ferricyanide. After that, they are sensitive just to blue light and UV light. So the covered pieces of the paper stay white, and the rest reacts to form this beautiful Prussian blue. Then all you need is a wash of water to fix the image forever. This piece by Anna Atkins shows the power of her work. Instead of using drawings like was done before, now you could use photographs to capture what a plant actually looked like morphologically. It's estimated that she made over 500 prints of British ferns and algae and others from around the world. She produced 2 books of her prints in the middle of the 1800s, and they are 2 of the rarest scientific books in the entire world. Luckily, a maniacal collector called Peter Walther worked with Henrik Taschen, the famed book collector, to release this book this year that has all the known prints ever done by Anna Atkins. Also, if you ever want to get a book from me as a present for the continued science education of my daughters and myself. Anna Atkins died in 1871, and while she was remembered well in her scientific circles, her work was never disseminated very widely. Her books were unsigned, and even the dedication to her father had no name. Luckily, in the 1970s, a photographic historian named Larry Schaff discovered one of her prints and decided to seek out more of them. That quest led, in 1985, to the publication of his book, Sun Gardens, Victorian Photograms by Anna Atkins. This led to an Anna Atkins revival, and there's been a number of shows of her work around the world. So I know I'm going to print out one of her prints and hang it on my history wall so me and my kids can remember this pioneer of science.